Now we're going to be looking at zigzag steps. So this is more advanced stepping. This is definitely tactical stepping. And really, you can't really do this without also doing head movement as well. This works really well if I want to do tactical head movement or slipping. So I'm coming in preemptively or actively slipping attacks just using my head avoidance. And so I can use this footwork for that. And it's also really good on getting in on an attacker, especially if they're a bit longer in reach here. I can then start to enter on this attacker with my head moving and with this footwork. And with this movement, I'm being very unpredictable. My head is also moving a lot here, and my angles are changing sharply. If you've ever played sport like football or soccer or something, you know this one as a bit more of like a juke or a sidestep, basically. So usually we're faking angles as we go, which you use a lot in these ball sports. So we're going to use something like that here. I'll just look at the footwork itself. I won't look at right now utilizing the head movement while active slipping with it. This is just the footwork. But tactically, you're kind of entering this with this on purpose. So what happens is here, what we're going to start with is a two-step movement. So basically I'm going to be doing 2 steps, and then I'm building on this. So I'm going to build up the movements. So first of all, let's look at a skip and a cross. Now what happens is here, I'll just show you what it looks like. Here is like so. And you can see what's happening is here, I've done a skip step. Typically what's happening is I'm going to go on 145 angle, and then I'm going to cut the other 45 angle. So what happens is here, there's my skip step, and I've added a bit of head movement here. And now I'm going to do a cross step. And the cross step's still going to go to its traditional side. But now, as I've gone to this angle, I'm going to cut this angle, cross, boom, here. At this point, I'm just going to reset my stance. Maybe there I want to start my counter attack or found my spacing and opening. So once more, this is a skip plus cross, but zigzag stepping here, like so. And then I can also do a cross step plus a cross step with my zigzag. So what happens is here, it's just the other angle for my start. So I've done a cross step here, and then I've done another cross step, boom, to this side, and then I can come in for attacking here. And like I said, this works really well with head movement. Just as a bit of a glimpse here, I've done my cross step, there's a slip. Now when I do my next cross step, I can actually come up with a U-slip, and then here. So you can see where this zigzag stepping can be tactically used with head avoiding and slipping as well. Now utilizing the exact same step actually, and now instead of movement of 2, we're going to now do 2.5. So being 2.5, we're now going to add a pivot step to it. In fact, we're going to be utilizing the saloon step pivot for this one. Again, the terminology is not that important. As long as you just reorientate yourself to where the attacker was, then you'll tend to just do the right pivot anyway. So what happens is here, I'm utilizing the same one, I'm going to do the skip cross again. But after I do the cross, I'm going to add my pivot step to maybe reorientate myself, or maybe open up the angle a little bit more. So you'll see it here. I'm doing my skip step cross, and now you can see that third movement, I've done this pivot here, pulls me a little bit more away. Maybe I'm coming around the corner a little bit with it. So if I do it a bit slower, here, there's my skip step, my cross step zigzagging. Now from here, instead of staying here, maybe that's where I need it to be for the angle. Now what's going to happen once I do my cross step, remember saloon step pivots, the rear foot moves to the closed side. So rear foot to closed side, I'll pivot off the lead foot here. There we go, and that just helps open up. And my positioning is a little bit different from what it was before. A cross with my zigzag and the pivot. So I'll do it over here, so I have some room. Here, there's my cross step. There's my cross step again. I'm changing the zigzag, and then from here, rear foot moves to the closed side. Pivot off the lead foot. That's my saloon step pivot. There we go. Change the angle. If I do one more of it here, there's my cross, and then I've opened up. And one last one with the zigzag stepping here is I'm going to do my skip, then a cross step, or my cross step as my 2 motions. But this one, we're going to make it a 3 movement. So I'm actually going to be doing 3 movement steps here. And the 3rd step, we're going to make it a replacement step. Now, as you learned way back in the basics with replacement steps, I do have a couple of motions I can do with my replacement steps. If I just take you back, I've got my replacement steps that are more of a straight line here. I've got replacement steps that have the V angle, like so. I've got replacement steps that in advance here, that in the straight line have the cornering angle, where a little bit tighter. I've got these motions here that I can utilize, and we did also have them in retreat as well here. So there's just a whole bunch of different replacement steps you can do, and you can just tack these on as your 3rd step. So I'll just show you just a couple. I'm not going to step through each one of them. It's just now when you start to get to these motions, we're starting to blend almost into like freestyle movement here. But what it looks like here with my zigzag, here's my skip, cross, there's a replacement step. Do another one with a skip, cross, and now I've done a cornering angle, a little bit tighter here. And if I do one more, I can do a cross, and then a replacement, and I took myself a little bit more out. So there's lots of different angles you can take here, adding to 3 movement, the replacement to the end of it.